Welcome to Missed Opportunities for Good, the podcast where we open up the space to have conversations about trends and campaigns at the intersection of.
Hi, I'm Alana.
Hey, I'm Steph.
We're social impact strategists, colleagues, and friends who are on a mission to revolutionize the industry we love.
Today, there's a lot of virtue signaling, greenwashing, cause washing, or companies just saying nothing out of fear of getting it wrong.
Whether it's a moment or a movement, it still has to be real. It has to be authentic and aligned with the brand, not just performative. It's about the action being taken that goes along with the messaging.
We're here to highlight who's doing it well, what could be better, and how companies can stop leaving money and the potential for real social impact on the table.
On today's episode, we have our first interview with Amanda Wallace. Fun fact, Amanda and I go way back to college. That wasn't until years later that we were brought together again.
And Amanda and I met through Grapevine, which is a giving platform. So Amanda Wallace is creative director at VaynerMedia in Los Angeles, who's passionate about sustainability, health and well-being, and making a positive impact on the world.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome, Amanda.
We're so excited to have you today, so let's get into it. Tell our listeners, why do you do what you do without saying what you do?
I do what I do mainly, honestly, to have the chance to mentor younger creative people. I feel like I had some amazing mentors who completely transformed the way that I think about how I work and gave me the confidence to progress and to tackle challenges and to grow in my own career. And I never realized how much that would matter to me.
Love that.
Love that so much.
All right, next question. What first drew you to impact-driven work?
I spent about, I would say, close to 10 years working in, can I say, marketing and advertising?
Yeah, you can say.
You can, in fact.
Your background is very helpful for the sake of this podcast, so share away.
And I started to just feel like I had to balance the scales, right? Like agencies are really good at what they do, and they help people find the brands that they want to spend their money on. And I think it is wonderful and it has a place, but I wanted to just karmically balance what I was doing.
I feel that.
Snaps. I think we all feel that, especially in this industry.
Yeah.
What issue areas are you most passionate about? Like what drives you and what areas do you like to give back, whether it's at work or in your personal life?
I would say my two strongest areas of interest are voting rights, as well as reproductive rights and women's rights.
Yes.
Hell yes.
More snaps.
Approved.
You can stay.
Yeah. Yes, please. Forever. All right. What is an impactful project you've worked on that you are most proud of?
So a couple years ago, I was watching an episode of Rachel Maddow, and Amy Hagstrom Miller, the founder of Whole Women's Health, did a wonderful interview with Rachel. And I don't know what fever dream came over me, but after that episode, I sent a blind email to that organization and just said, hey, I'm a creative director. I love what y'all are doing. If you ever need any free help, please don't hesitate to reach out now or in the future. And they responded and they said, yes, we need and would love help. You know, we have X, Y, and Z going on. And that's how we started working together.
That's amazing. And I just want to follow up with another question, because I've been talking to a lot of people lately who have tried doing that by reaching out to nonprofits and offering their services and have not heard back in the past. And And obviously there's many factors that can lead to that, but curious if you have any tips on what may have worked better in your experience of why they were so inclined to respond, or how many times you might have had to reach out before you reached the right person, or who you contacted so that you were able to actually build that partnership.
It was one email, I have to say. I don't know if they were just not getting the same amount of people reaching out as other maybe more famous similar organizations. Everyone knows Planned Parenthood and that level, but for whatever reason the person just looked at my email and responded. I wrote my credentials, so maybe that helps. I said in the email who I was and what my level of experience was. I may have listed a couple brands that I have worked on, I don't remember.
Nice.
But I was just trying to be genuine. And I think because I didn't put pressure on it, I said like, hey, if you have a need now or in the future, like please reach out anytime for free help.
I love that.
Oh, goosebumps. So good. So good. Yeah, it's so interesting because like I was recently having a conversation with a girlfriend who owns an agency here in downtown Detroit, and she was saying that she was motivated to do work with Moms Demand Action, and for whatever reason they didn't get back to her. Like she said, we want to give you free advertising. We want to do this for you. And it was just radio silent. And, she tried stalking them on LinkedIn, like all these other things. And eventually she talked to Everytown and she talked to Sandy Hook Promise. And they all said, if you really want to help, we need money and we need you to write letters. And I was just blown away by that. But, and so her agency did end up writing letters, but it's so interesting that, creatives want to share their gifts, right? And to share their creative expertise. And yet these organizations, what they really need is money and letters. And so anyway,
I think a lot of the time, their internal teams are so small. And if you think about, I found that email on their website. Think about the amount of emails they probably get, the amount of hate emails they probably get.
Totally.
I just imagine them sifting through like thousands of emails. And I would say it was probably not personal. It probably just got lost.
Totally. The amount of like understaffed. I mean, so many nonprofits, right, are understaffed, under-resourced.
Yeah.
Getting it to the right person at the right time, getting the right eyes on it can definitely be a thing. On that note, what's the biggest challenge you're facing right now?
In terms of positive impact, my issue is probably just an issue with myself. And that is, I find that the issues I care about, some of them I feel fine bringing forward. For example, now that we're leading up to another election cycle, I will start my agency about what we can do on the voting rights front. And the other issue that I care about is, for whatever reason in this country, very, very, very controversial. And what I don't want to do is make anyone uncomfortable. I think about the fact that even if I go to my agency and say, hey, this is something I care about, could I see if other people care about it? And could we offer our services in our own free time and just work together? Even if they said yes, I also wouldn't want to polarize people who I work with who may feel strongly on the other side and who may feel uncomfortable working with me after that. So it's, as you can hear me rambling, it's an issue with myself to bring forward my interest in working on these issues at corporate environments.
Yeah. It is so interesting because obviously it is a politicized issue, but it's human rights. Reproductive rights are human rights. And so it's such a shame that it's become such a polarized and political issue that not everyone can feel comfortable having those conversations, especially when it comes to the activism piece of it, or donating services or supporting these types of organizations, which is also, I think, why so many companies choose not to say anything so often, right? Because they're afraid of the same response.
But it's such a testament to you and who you are, Amanda, that like you're even having the conversations in your brain of, I don't want to make my colleagues feel uncomfortable. Like that's what I heard. And I think that goes for your clients too, probably, right? Like that can get dicey, I imagine.
Absolutely. I think it does create some jeopardy. I went on a huge voting rights thing in 2019,
Yeah.
and I was very vocal at my agency, and I gave speeches, and I did a whole program to help people get registered. And I got some pretty negative, nasty slacks from people I was working with about, don't you feel like you're being overly political? Like it really shocked me because obviously the right to vote in my brain is not political at all. I wasn't saying vote for this person or that person or this party or that. But even that was found to be polarizing.
Wow.
So,
yeah. It's interesting because it's almost like the culture needs to be shifted in general around all issue areas for them to not be made political, and like how, I mean, that's a whole other conversation, but how do we change how do we change that to like shift the political climate that these issues aren't becoming polarizing across people within companies? And I get these ideas of like, you don't have to appeal to everybody all the time. But at the same time, when you're working with people in an office and on teams, like you kind of all need to be able to get along and relate to each other. So for people to be upset about things like that is a little tense. But that's incredible that you were working within your company to encourage voting and making sure people got out there and making their voices heard.
Kudos, woman. We need you.
Yes. Yes. That being said, weren't you able to also recruit people to work with you on that campaign?
Whole Women's Health.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually. So, I did not want to make it like an overt thing at the agency, but what I did was I first reached out to my partner at the time, my art director partner, Brock Pashota, and he is incredible. He said yes immediately. And the two of us then very quietly started reaching out to people across departments at the agency who we thought might be interested. And 100% of them said yes. And before we knew it, we had a team of, I think, 12 to 15 people working on this at nights, weekends, spare time. And it felt so good. And my only regret is that we're not doing something right this second for them. I want to reach out like right after we hang up and see what they
please. Yeah.
So if you're listening, what a testament though to see that at the same time of the fear of polarizing people, but also that so many people were so interested in supporting and being able to find those like-minded people. And I think there's so many interesting conversations also to be had around like, how do we share these sort of opportunities with other creatives, and how do we find these opportunities and band together to work with these organizations that people do share passion around, and to be able to give back those gifts, as Steph said earlier.
1,000%.
I would argue that having something to work on that you feel good about will also make you better at your normal everyday client work.
Yes. To that. I think that's it's truth, right? Like that is a truth. In general, there's so many statistics around employee engagement that employee retention and engagement increases when people are passionate about the work they're doing and given work that they feel like they can be truly creative and authentic and appeals to their issue areas and giving back and all of that. So I think that that's real.
Yeah. And everyone in our industry is burnt out, right? Period. Like the layoffs that are happening, the extra work that's being taken on. I mean, like creatives are struggling to stay alive and keep their jobs, and to be able to go outside of yourself and say, also, we really give a shit. we really want to give back, even though it's so difficult to do that. And it's so painful to hear that, on top of all of the paid work that you're doing, you have to find outlets to be able to feel fulfilled. And we love you. We thank you for everything that you're doing, and can only hope that this is going to pay off because we need you.
It's setting such a great example. And What if agencies just were able to build that into their actual billable hours or their systems where they could incorporate this internally and people didn't have to go outwardly to find these opportunities for themselves?
I think, what's the stat? Something like 70% of Gen Z shops with their conscience, and they care about the brands that they are giving their money to. So now would be the time to tweak the business model to include more causes within corporate games.
Yes, 100%.
And 60% of employees want to work for a company that's giving back and doing good and actively supporting causes. So yes, these two statistics are, preaching to the choir. Keep preaching, Amanda, because yes, this is what we're doing. Missed opportunities for good. All right. Speaking of, you brought a few campaigns for us today to evaluate with our criteria, which is very exciting.
I did. Do you want me to tell you about the first one and then we'll watch?
Yes, let's do it.
Please.
Okay. So the first one is a pro-choice, I like to say pro-abortion ad that 72 and Sunny did in partnership with several nonprofits. So forgive me if I forget them all, but
don't worry, we'll have them all in the show notes. It's all good.
And they made an ad that if you skip it, if you don't believe in reproductive rights and you skip the ad, they donate a free, I don't want to say a free abortion, free medical care for people in need of reproductive medical care. And if you do watch it, you get this wonderful pro-choice ad and video. So I thought it was
Okay, shall we review?
Yeah.
We will not be playing this out loud for listeners, but we will include a link in our show notes so they can watch it themselves.
Absolutely. I'm not crying. You're crying.
It's beautiful.
I love how simple it is, yet it fully gives you chills.
I love how it leverages a platform technology to speak so eloquently about being choice or being quote unquote anti-choice. It gives people who are anti-choice the choice to skip it if they don't want to sit through it, but they have to know that skipping it will lead to donation and care towards something they don't believe in.
Absolutely.
It's so brilliant.
I don't know if you caught the note that it says at 5 seconds in, it says the total funds for donation are limited but shall not be less than $17,000. So instead of the opposite, where so often there's a cap being publicized, they're putting a minimum to what they're going to donate, which I think is really interesting as well.
I did not catch that. That's great.
It's real tiny. It's real tiny. I had to pause it and go back to find it. So I'm calling out where it is. But it's interesting, especially in the campaigns we've been reviewing, a lot of them have had caps on it. So at first I was like, wait, they're only giving $17,000? And then after further review.
I just think it's really eloquent in its simplicity.
It's so beautifully done. Like, it's just cinematically shot, and I mean, 72 and Sunny, so of course it's going to be great, but
they all found footage, I imagine.
Right.
Like, is that all stock? It's all just like beautiful stock images. So keeping costs down, keeping it simple in that sense, but having such a powerful message.
Yeah. And then in keeping costs down, being able to make a donation. That's significant.
Exactly.
I love, to your point about using the platform, that everyone skips ads all the times, right? So to really be able to play into the like cultural habit of skipping ads and make people think before they're doing so, and like giving someone a choice, not choice, is really clever.
Yeah. It's brilliant manipulation of the technology. And, there is a call to action at the end as well, to go to madebychoice.org, which is their microsite where they explain the rationale behind the campaign, give some great statistics, and Here they're mentioning the nonprofit partners. So it looks like Abortion Freedom Fund, WISP, but yeah, we'll get into all
Plan
this.
C,
but
Sticks, Mayday
oh
Health,
my God,
August.
It's so good. Well done,
Oh,
Amanda.
interesting.
Good fun.
Okay, total other sidebar, but related, I promise. August, one of the brands behind it, has another campaign that's really interesting that just came out. I don't know if you saw that. It's a box of tampons, but then it comes with a pregnancy test in it. And they're not available for sale, I believe, but they're sending them, I believe, to politicians.
Love that.
And things like that. But it's like, we'll have to include that in the show notes as well. But it's fascinating. So I love that people are having to go these, well, I don't love that we're having to make these decisions by going these unusual routes to come up with great creative. But the creative that's taking place around this issue has been really outstanding in terms of, hopefully we're changing hearts and minds in the process, right? Like that's the most important thing. Okay, shall we go through our criteria and in a quick round without us being able to do all the back end research because we're doing this live. But Steph, do you want to take us through the first question?
Sure. All right. So the first question, and granted, this is more of a PSA, right, than it is selling an actual product. But so we'll sort of kind of tailor it accordingly. So our first criteria that we always look at is alignment. Is the impact aligned with brand values and goals?
Yes.
Right. That is correct. And that's why I'm saying like this is a unique ad in that it's right, like it's more of a PSA. So obviously alignment is 1000% there.
Yes, but also in incorporating, so it's not just solely nonprofits behind it, that there are brands. WISP, which is a sexual and reproductive telehealth service. Sticks is a vaginal and reproductive health brand. August is a period product brand.
Touché.
So there are brands behind it as well.
Yeah.
So obviously they're all working within this space, but the fact that they're putting time, effort, money behind this is obviously really important as well. So yes, alignment. Next, partnerships. We'll kind of scoop all of our partnerships together since there isn't a talent or influencer partnership. But the nonprofit partnership piece of it, what is the strength and alignment of the partnership?
I mean, I think that obviously, I think it's really interesting what you just said, Alana. I didn't know that there were corporate brands that were backing this. I thought it was just 72 working with a nonprofit. I think there is clear alignment from both the brands and the nonprofit to shed, I would say, positive light about all of the things that choice saves, which is a really interesting angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely.
And then we talked about this a little bit, but the donation and monetary investment. So obviously we figured out the donation is a minimum of $17,000 to all the nonprofit partners, which is tremendous. I will be curious to know if they, do a follow-up ad or PSA to say like, thanks to you, we were able to donate X amount of dollars. That to me would be like the full follow through to get people like, oh, wow, yeah, we were able to do that together.
Yeah, I would love to know the final amount.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's not entirely clear who is funding the donation piece. I see there's a donate tab on their website as well. So individuals can make donations, but is 72 donating? Are all those other brands donating? Is everyone donating into a pot together? How that, we'll talk about that, I guess, in transparency, but I'm curious how that is actually being activated. To your point, Steph, follow through. Is this a one-off donation or a long-term campaign? We don't know.
Although I would be curious to know who August's agency of record is. Like, are they working? Are they a 72 and Sunny client? Because did they work together on that campaign that you were just talking about, Alana, which is so friggin' brilliant. So if that's the case, then, this is very much not a one-off, and they are continuing this mission and vision of bringing this to life, which is very cool.
I would love for them to make this more than a one-off. I would love to see more videos, to see the impact, to delve more into exactly how the donations break down, because I think those details do matter, especially if they want to make it long-term.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. What are you finding, Sleuth?
My sleuthing is not working very well right now. We'll move to the next one. Call to action. I know we spoke about this a little bit already. Is there a call to action? Is it obvious or subtle? And is it actionable?
I think there are two calls to action. The first is skip or not skip the ad, which has direct consequences. And the second is to go to Made by Choice, which is a great CPA.
Absolutely.
Transparency. Is the messaging clear around the impact they're planning to make and have taken?
I would love a little more transparency in this ad. I don't quite understand, as you both were saying, who is donating what and exactly where the funds are going.
Right. I mean, look, this PSA tugs on heartstrings in the best way. The music is there, everything is there, right? And there's only so much you can fit into a 60-second spot, right? So, maybe there's going to be another supplemental piece of content, of branded content, that is going to go into more details about how they're making these donations or whatnot. But yeah, I think transparency here is definitely a miss.
Yeah, I would say it feels like also a common theme that tends to happen is that there's often, and I wouldn't say that in this case it's performative.
No,
because it sounds like there's real action being taken, but just a clear understanding for a viewer of what the impact truly is. Because yes, this is really impactful, but like, how often is this getting played on YouTube? What eyeballs are they reaching? Almost like a follow-up case study. Like, I want to know how effective it was, and if it was, created for the sake of submitting to ads later down the line, or award shows, down the line, or if it's truly about the real impact it could have now, because it is such great creative that I would like to see it be able to reach its maximum potential and see what that
looks like. Stay tuned for Cannes Lion next year to get the recap. No, but hopefully we will have another piece of content that comes out that says the impact that was made, because that's how they're going to put a bow on this.
Yeah. And engagement, we'll link these together as well. Yeah. Are they engaging their customers and community? Are they engaging potentially their employees, or is there a way to engage them if they're not already engaging them?
That's a good question. I don't know. I would say that my question on engagement, and also going back to the last question, is like, I would love to know where this is being placed. I saw it. I live in LA, and that's wonderful, but kind of preaching to the choir out here. I would love to know if this ad were running in very anti-abortion states, such as 17 states that now have official bans. It might be more than that.
This would be a cool follow-up. Sorry, I know we're not on the what do you think is the missed opportunity piece yet, but that was just making me think, like, how cool would it be if there was literally a graphic of the US, and as they were showing it, they could, like, the states would like turn colors, or there would show some percentage like by state of how many people are clicking through and watching the whole spot versus how many are donating in real time. It was adjusting based on where they're showing it. Like, that would actually be a kind of an interesting way to show impact of exposure, and then also see if over time somehow it's shifting at all. I don't know. I think there could be some cool metrics to measure.
Oh, Alana, I love that.
I think you should reach out to Made by Choice and tell them to tweak their
like, who do we know over at 72 these days? Who worked on this campaign?
Let's
get talking.
I love this. I think that was such a great example, and neither Alana and I had seen it yet. So thank you so much, Amanda, for sharing.
Last one, awesome. Cross promotion.
Oh, right. My fault.
But I don't think we know. Like, I haven't been able to dive deep yet. Has anyone dove in to
No,
see if there was any cross-promotion. I'd be very curious, though, to see if the brands are repopulating it places, if the nonprofits are repopulating.
Can we just go to
our resident social sleuth stuff?
Take me to Instagram immediately.
Question, because when I went to 72's site, I might have missed it, but I didn't see it. But that could have been just because we were in a rush, but it wasn't immediately obvious to me.
I mean, that's also a thing that we find, is that the visibility is often buried in a lot of these sort of campaigns.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, and this is interesting. I mean, I just quickly clicked on Sticks to see if they were doing anything. And I'm not seeing any sort of call out or, you know, like a pop up or anything about the PSA.
On their social has it twice.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on the social media. But when I think about different cross promotional channels, it's like, oh, if I'm going to Sticks directly from, madebychoice.org, you would hope that there would be some sort of shared messaging so that everybody is saying the same messaging at the same time. That's when you get that groundswell of messaging, right? And even better if all right, I'm throwing it out there. My missed opportunity for good would be talent. Bring in an amplifier. Let's bring in T Swift, who we know has thoughts and feelings about this. Or like Paramore just did a whole, on their last tour, they did a whole call to action for pro-choice. So, bring in talent who are vocal about this and have them be a mouthpiece to help spread the awareness. That's what I see as the only missed opportunity here. Because aside from that, everything is like textbook. I just think it's a great case study.
Or on that note, even having it specifically play during certain artists, like when someone like Googles to like play a video, like I don't ever do this, but if you're looking on YouTube for specific content, like attaching to certain content that they know people might be more controversial around, but that artist might support this idea and to
or
like,
not.
Push or not. Yes.
There we go.
Or not.
There we go.
Go to the most egregious,
hell yeah,
televangelists or Fox News and throw the ad up.
That's great. I wonder if there's a bigger media buy that's actually running this ad and hopefully having people skip.
How about the Republican debate?
How about it? How about it?
Seems like a great ad for that.
Have we gotten to the point where you can utilize this technology on TVs too? Because that would be pretty awesome. If you could control it through a broadcast spot and then you could tell when people were fast forwarding. I don't know that we have that tech yet, but if we did, it'd be very cool.
I don't think we do, but I would say, at least with the younger generations, the vast majority of them are watching any of their news on a platform that's not cable, whether it's Sling or YouTube TV or Roku. They are in a place where they can have these skippable moments.
Yeah.
So that would be great placement. Interesting.
How are we going to get to the bottom of this? I'm like all fired up now. I want to talk to the 72 and Sunny media planner and be like, yo, what is up? Tell us all the things.
Maybe they are.
Yeah, we don't know. Let's get into the next example.
Yes.
The next example is, so I think as we all know, LGBTQIA rights are under attack in this country again for some unknown reason. There are many cities now banning the pride flag, and that has an impact not just on government buildings, but it means you cannot fly it anywhere. You cannot fly it on a school. You cannot fly it on a corporate building. So InOcean is an ad agency that has its headquarters in Huntington Beach, which is part of Orange County, California, which just enacted a ban, and the city contacted Ocean, which had a pride flag, and told them to take it down. And they were like, hold my beer. And so they partnered with the founder of the pride flag, whose name is Gilbert Baker, and they partnered with the Gilbert Baker Foundation to create an AR version of the pride flag for anyone, anywhere in the world to use to plant that flag and make a social asset and post it on their social with the flag so they could take their rights back.
I love that. And living in West Hollywood, I don't even know what a day is without seeing a rainbow flag. So I just think that so much, yes, it makes me want to drive down to Orange County and just plant flags virtually on all their buildings.
Do it.
It's not that far. I mean, just what? I don't even understand. Like I think there's also this idea, like you forget sometimes living in California, right? Especially in Los Angeles or San Francisco, that we are around a lot of like-minded people, and then not that far away in Orange County, it's less than 30 minutes, right? Like there can be completely different viewpoints and they're stripping rights. So if it's a flag today, what is it tomorrow, right? So the fact that something like this even happens so close is sad and scary and all of the things. So
I'll tell you, we could really use this app in the very purple state of Michigan.
Use it.
You can.
You can.
Download today. We'll include a link in the show notes for everybody.
It's really just a filter that you can find on Instagram. So you really can use it anywhere.
It's so smart. It's such, like, again, this is another example of using pre-existing technology, right? Not reinventing the wheel, but using what's already out there for good. And that's what everybody should be doing. It's so good. I love this.
Yeah.
I think what's very cool too about the origination of this project is it goes back to an idea around what businesses used to believe in and do back in the day, where you served your community where you lived. And so businesses look to their local community, and that's where their employees were coming from. And they wanted to support things that their employees cared about because that was their neighborhood. That was where everything took place, right? And so now we're in such a global world where people kind of forget that connection. But for Notion to look out their windows and be like, this is messed up, it's happening in our backyard, we need to do something about it, is amazing.
Agreed. I just love that it gives power back to people in areas where the government has chosen to take power away.
Yes.
And, sorry, I'm just reading one of the articles that you shared. It says in here, back to that notion of local community, we are proud of the diversity we have in our employees at Ocean. And when one of our team members proposed we do something bold to support the LGBTQ plus community, I was very happy to see our team jump into action, said Steve June, CEO of Ocean USA. It's about more than a flag. It's about people coming together, using new technologies for good, and standing up for each other. I look forward to seeing virtual rainbow pride flags across the country, if not the world.
I love that the CEO got out in front of this, talked about it. So we were just talking about how sometimes it's hidden and it's really unclear that an agency even worked on something, but they are just like blasting it out. The CEO is talking about it. I think it's great.
I think that's amazing. And it means so much more to do something like this in this way than changing your logo for the month and having a rainbow logo. Like, what a joke. So this is pretty incredible. And it's not something that ends at the end of Pride Month either, which I think is really cool, right? It's not like the filter is going to disappear if it continues to exist. And hopefully it becomes one of those little bits that can go viral and spread across the US and across the world.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Bravo.
And listeners, we'd love to hear from you and let us know what you think about this campaign. Check it out in the link in the show notes and give us your thoughts. What would you like to see more of? How would you like to activate on this yourself?
Amanda, thank you. Thank you again for joining us. Where can folks learn more about you and your work?
Well, I have a nifty portfolio site that I don't know anyone's ever seen. who have hired me. It is called TroubleCity.com because that's from childhood. So you can probably just catch me chatting with you amazing people.
I love that. Well, we will link to Trouble City in our show notes.
Yes, we will. Get ready for the flood of traffic coming to TroubleCity.com.
That's such a good name. I kind of love that. But the beauty of it is you're like stirring up the good kind of trouble. You're like,
that's right.
You're stirring up trouble for impact and picking polarized issues that shouldn't be polarized and really activating behind them. So I think this is a great thing.
John Lewis would be so proud.
Oh, wow. This was so fun. Thank you both.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
And helping us shine a light and learn from those who are doing it well and reduce the missed opportunities for good.
We want to hear from you. Let us know. What campaigns are you seeing that are doing it well? Who would you like to see us interview? And what campaigns would you like to see us audit?
Thank you so much for listening and joining us on our mission to revolutionize the industry that we love.